The human man, Ethan, is a low-level human worker. Humans are seen as weak, short-lived, and disposable. Ethan is tired, lost, and late during a night shift. He opens the wrong door by mistake. Inside the room is an alien woman, tall, glowing eyes, calm but dangerous. She belongs to a high-ranking alien race feared by all. Ethan freezes, knowing humans are killed for less. He waits for her to scream, attack, or call guards. The alien woman studies him, not angry, just curious. She asks why he entered. Ethan tells the truth, he is lost. She does not order him to leave. She asks questions about humans. Why they keep working despite humiliation. Why they do not rebel. Ethan answers honestly. Humans endure. Humans survive. Humans wait. Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ethan walked slowly through the metal corridor, his boots making soft sounds against the cold floor. The lights above him flickered again. They always flickered at this hour. This part of the station was old, very old, older than most humans working here. The alien races repaired only what they needed. Human areas were always last. Ethan kept his head down, like all humans did. On this station, humans were everywhere, cleaning, carrying, fixing, waiting. But no one ever really saw them, not unless a mistake was made. And Ethan had already made one. He was late. That alone was dangerous. The station did not care about reasons. The overseers did not care about excuses. If a human failed to show up on time, another human replaced him. Sometimes the first one disappeared. Sometimes no one asked where he went. Ethan tightened his grip on the small data tablet in his hand and quickened his pace. The corridor split ahead into 3 paths. He stopped. His heart sank. He was sure he had taken the left path before, or maybe the right. The station layout changed depending on security levels. Walls moved, doors vanished, signs shifted language. Aliens adapted easily. Humans did not. Ethan swallowed and looked around. No patrols, no overseers, just the low hum of the station breathing around him. He chose the middle path. The hallway grew quieter with every step. The lights became dimmer. The walls smoother, darker, almost polished like black stone. This was not a maintenance zone. Ethan slowed. Humans were not allowed here. He turned back, but the corridor behind him was gone. The wall had sealed without a sound. His breath became shallow. Just a wrong turn, he whispered to himself. Just find another door. He walked forward until he saw it. A single door. Tall, smooth, dark silver with glowing symbols moving across its surface like living thoughts. Ethan knew those symbols. High clearance. His hands trembled. Entering a restricted room without permission meant punishment, sometimes death, sometimes worse. Aliens did not always kill humans. Sometimes they studied them. Ethan reached for the panel beside the door, hopping to call for guidance. The panel was dark. Offline. Of course it was. Behind him, the corridor made a low shifting sound. Something was moving. Ethan's pulse spiked. Without thinking, he pressed his palm against the door. The symbols froze. Then the door opened. Silently, Ethan stepped inside, and the door closed behind him. The room was large, much larger than it should have been. The ceiling curved upward like the inside of a shell. Soft blue light filled the space, not from lamps but from the walls themselves. The air felt warmer here. Cleaner. Ethan took one careful step forward. Then he froze. Someone was already inside. She stood near the center of the room, facing away from him. Tall, taller than any human woman. Her form was humanoid but clearly alien. Her skin shimmered like dark glass under starlight. Long silver markings ran along her arms and neck, glowing faintly with every slow breath she took. Ethan's mouth went dry. She was not wearing armor. That made it worse. Only those with absolute authority felt safe without protection. Ethan knew her race. Everyone did. They were called the Velori, a species known for intelligence, control, and quiet cruelty. When a Velori spoke, entire fleets listened. When they decided a species had failed, that species vanished from records. Ethan tried to move. He couldn't. His legs refused to obey. The alien woman turned slowly. Her eyes met his. They were not glowing with anger. They were calm, curious. Ethan felt smaller than he ever had before. He dropped to one knee instantly, pressing his forehead to the floor. "I apologize," he said quickly. "I am human worker designation E317. I entered by mistake. I will leave immediately." He waited. No command came. No alarm sounded. No guards rushed in. Silence filled the room. Slowly, carefully, Ethan lifted his head. The Velori woman was watching him closely. She did not look offended. She looked interested. "You entered the wrong room," she said at last. Her voice was smooth and deep, not loud, but it carried power. "Yes," Ethan replied, "I accept punishment." She tilted her head slightly. "Punishment," she repeated, "you assume much." Ethan didn't answer. Humans were taught not to speak unless spoken to. Every extra word was a risk. The Velori woman stepped closer. Each step was slow, controlled, graceful. Ethan felt his heart pounding against his ribs. "You may stand," she said. Ethan hesitated. Then he stood. She was even taller up close. Her eyes reflected faint images, data streams, symbols, calculations Ethan could not understand. "What is your name?" she asked. "Ethan," he said softly. "Just Ethan?" she asked. "Yes." She considered that. "Humans still use single names," she said. "Fascinating." She walked past him, circling slowly. "You are aware this room is forbidden to your kind," she said. "Yes." "And you know the penalty?" "Yes." "Then why are you still breathing?" she asked. Ethan swallowed. "Because you have not ordered otherwise," he said. A long pause followed. Then something unexpected happened. The Velori woman smiled. It was slight, almost unnoticeable, but it was there. "Honesty," she said, "rare." She moved to a console and touched it. The symbols on the walls shifted. A soft hum filled the room. The door behind Ethan locked. Ethan's breath caught. Fear surged through him. She noticed. "You are afraid," she said. "Yes." "Good," she replied. "Fear keeps species alive." She turned back to him. "My name is Celira," she said, "and you will not leave yet." Ethan's mind raced. Was this how it ended? Not with violence, but with curiosity. Celira studied him in silence. "Tell me," she said at last, "why do humans continue to serve, even when treated as lesser?" Ethan blinked. No alien had ever asked him that. "I don't know," he said honestly. "We need to survive." Celira nodded slowly. "Survival," she repeated. "Your species clings to it stubbornly." She walked toward a large transparent surface. Beyond it, stars drifted slowly. "My work," she said, "is the study of extinction." Ethan's chest tightened. "I analyze species at the edge of disappearance," she continued. "Their habits, their failures, their final mistakes." She turned to face him. "Your species appears in many projections." Ethan felt cold. "You think humans will disappear?" he said. "Yes," Celira replied, "soon." Ethan shook his head slightly. With respect, he said, then stopped himself. Humans did not challenge aliens. Celira raised a hand. Continue. Ethan took a breath. Humans have been ending for a long time, he said. We're still here. Celira's eyes narrowed. That confidence is misplaced. Maybe, Ethan said, but we adapt. Celira was silent. Then she stepped closer again. How far would you go to ensure your species survives? She asked. Ethan did not hesitate. As far as needed, he said. Celira studied him, as if seeing something new. The station suddenly trembled. Distant alarms echoed faintly through the walls. Celira's expression changed. Patrols, she said calmly. They are searching this sector. Ethan's blood ran cold. If they find you here, she said, you will be terminated. Ethan nodded. I understand. She looked at him closely. There is another option, she said. Ethan met her gaze. What option? He asked. She placed a hand on the glowing console beside her. You stay, she said, just for tonight. Ethan frowned. And then? Celira's eyes gleamed. Then, she said, we learn whether humanity deserves its place among the stars. The alarms grew louder. The door remained sealed. Ethan stood still, heart racing, knowing his life, and perhaps much more balanced on this single moment. And he did not move. The alarms outside the room continued to echo, low and distant, like a warning heartbeat inside the station. Ethan stood exactly where he was. He did not run. He did not speak. He knew that any sudden move might change everything. Celira watched him closely. You did not ask what will happen to you, she said. Ethan swallowed. I already know, he replied. Humans don't get good endings. Celira studied his face, his tired eyes, the lines of stress carved too early into human skin. That belief, she said quietly, may be your species' greatest weakness. Or our greatest strength, Ethan answered. She turned away and moved toward the center of the room. With a simple motion of her hand, the floor beneath them shifted. Lines of light appeared, forming a wide circular pattern. This chamber, Celira said, is older than the station, older than my people's rule. Ethan watched in silence. It was built to measure something we once valued, she continued, something we no longer understand. She looked back at him. Endurance. The lights dimmed further. The walls seemed to pull away, making the space feel larger, deeper, almost endless. Celira gestured. Step forward. Ethan hesitated. Outside this room, humans obeyed without question. Inside this room, everything felt different. He felt seen, not as a worker, not as a number. As a human. He stepped forward. The circular pattern responded immediately. Light rose from the floor like mist, wrapping gently around his legs, his arms, his chest. It was warm, not painful. Celira moved closer. This system links minds, she said. It does not test strength of body, it tests strength of self. Ethan frowned. I don't understand. You will, she replied. She placed her hand against a glowing symbol. The room vibrated softly. Then the world changed. Ethan was no longer standing in the chamber. He stood on Earth. Or what looked like Earth. The sky was gray. Broken buildings stretched as far as he could see. Fires burned in the distance. He could hear shouting, crying, sirens. He recognized it instantly. War. He took a step forward, and the ground shook. Images rushed toward him. Humans running through smoke. Soldiers carrying wounded friends. Families hiding in darkness. Loss, pain, fear. Ethan felt it all. The system did not shield him. It forced him to feel everything. His chest tightened. He dropped to one knee. But he did not look away. He remembered stories his grandparents told him, history lessons filled with suffering, entire nations broken, rebuilt, then broken again. The images shifted. Plagues, starvation, cold nights with empty stomachs, children crying, parents choosing who would eat and who would not. Ethan's breathing grew heavy. His hands shook. Inside the real chamber, Celira stiffened. The system's lights began to flicker. "This is too much," she whispered. "No mind has endured this depth of memory." The system continued. The images changed again. Humans standing back up, clearing rubble, planting food in poisoned soil, helping strangers, smiling despite tears. Ethan felt the pain, but also something else. Hope. Stubborn, irrational, unbreakable hope. He stood. His legs trembled, but they held him. He looked straight ahead. "We don't stop," he whispered. "We never stop." The system reacted. Energy surged through the chamber. Celira stepped back, eyes wide. "This is impossible," she said. Others collapsed, screamed, begged for release. Ethan did none of those things. The images continued. Humanity reaching space. Failing. Trying again. Ships exploding. Colonies lost. Yet more ships launched. More hands reaching for the stars. Ethan felt pride now. Not loud pride. Quiet pride. The kind that survives. The system's voice finally spoke. Ancient, cold, absolute. Species classification incomplete. The lights flared. Celira stared at the display in disbelief. "No," she whispered, "that result has never occurred." The voice spoke again. Emotional endurance exceeds known limits. Ethan fell to his knees, not from pain but exhaustion. He had carried humanity's weight. And he was still breathing. The chamber slowly returned to normal. The light softened. The images faded. Ethan lay on the floor, staring at the ceiling. Celira approached him slowly. For the first time, her expression was not calm. It was shaken. "You should be broken," she said quietly. Ethan let out a weak laugh. "Yeah," he replied, "people say that a lot." She helped him sit up. Her touch was careful, respectful. "Do you understand what you showed us tonight?" she asked. Ethan shook his head. "I just survived," he said. Celira looked at the system's final reading. Adaptive, persistent, uncontainable. Her breath caught. "My people believed emotion was weakness," she said. "We erased it, controlled it, perfected ourselves." She turned to him. "And in doing so," she continued, "we doomed ourselves." Ethan met her gaze. "You stopped hurting," he said softly. "That's when you stopped growing." Celira closed her eyes. Outside the chamber, the alarm stopped. The patrols moved on. Celira made a decision. She moved to the main console and began transferring data. "What are you doing?" Ethan asked. "Changing the future," she replied. Data streamed out, faster than Ethan could follow. "This report will reach the High Council," she said. "They will not ignore it." "Will they punish you?" Ethan asked. "Yes," she answered honestly. "Then why do it?" Celira turned to him. "Because extinction is coming," she said, "and tonight I learned it will not be yours." She walked to the door. It unlocked with a soft sound. "You must leave now," she said, "before they return." Ethan stood slowly. He hesitated. "Why help me?" he asked. Celira paused. "Because," she said, "for the first time in centuries I am afraid." She faced him fully. And then she did something no human had ever seen. She bowed. Not deeply, but enough. a sign of respect. Ethan did not bow back. He simply nodded. "I'll tell them," he said. "Tell them what?" she asked. "To be ready." Celira smiled faintly. "That will be enough." Ethan stepped into the corridor. The door closed behind him. Weeks passed. Then months. Human workers noticed changes. Aliens watched humans differently now. Meetings were held. Orders changed. Human advisors were requested, not commanded. Human ships were escorted, not ignored. On Earth, long-range sensors detected something impossible. Alien fleets altered course. They slowed. They waited. Ethan stood on a balcony overlooking the stars, wearing a uniform he never thought he would earn. He remembered the wrong room, the wrong door, the wrong night, and how it changed everything. Humanity did not demand respect. It endured until respect became unavoidable. And the galaxy learned a simple truth. You can break a human, but you can never erase humanity. And